Welcome, we are Kath, Sue and Fudge. After living for 2.5 years in our motorhome, and with the help from the BBC's Escape to the Country, we found our forever home in the Highlands of Scotland, where we enjoy all it has to offer, including hiking, swimming, cycling and running. So why not join us in our post-retirement adventures? Morning. Maybe you can guess what this means. The rucksack's out, the tent, all the camping gear. Yes, we're off for another wild camp. We're heading off up into the mountains again, and I can't wait. Well, we're here at a familiar spot. Just last minute nervous wee at the Cairngorm ski station before we set off. Now the first part of this walk is going to be the same as the last time, but this time we're going further and heading to a place called Loch Etchacan, where we'll be camping for the night. So we'll take you with us. Minor adjustments?
Yeah, just tightening up. I think the last time I had a fleece and a waterproof jacket on.
So your bag's heavier today?
Yes, it is, because I've got all my clothes in it. I'm not wearing them.
We've just taken a little break because up there, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to get it on the camera, is what's collectively called the Northern Corries. So because the sun that is over there, you probably won't get too good of a view. But there is actually a walk along the top of that ridge along there. We don't plan to walk along that ridge today. We plan to go past it and down the other side, heading towards Ben Macdui. And that hill that you can see just there is Meelabukel. Can't remember the names of the ones that follow, but that's the ridge that we walked along once before.
I'm just saying that you and I fight all the time.
Well, not fisticuff fight. Well, we've stopped for lunch. Behind me is Locha'an. We camped last time we were here just a little bit further down from Locha'an. The weather wasn't anything like it is today. And then over here, if you follow me, hopefully you can follow me, we have a beautiful little sheltered spot for lunch. Well, we've finished our lunch now and we're just about to head off to the summit. First of all, we have to cross the boulder field, and now we've got this quite steep section which is heading up to Ben Macdui. I'm not sure whether we're going to do the summit of Ben Macdui because I think we skirt off to the left before we get there, but I guess we'll see how we feel when we get up to the top. Now we take another brief pause. Well, we need to get glasses out to read maps these days. We decided not to go for the summit of Ben Macdui. We weren't far away, in fact, probably no more than a few hundred metres, but we'd done it before. So we decided to skirt round the edges and head off for tonight's camp.
I think we're about here, aren't we? And that little...
Maybe a bit further on.
So we've joined there. There's a little stream running down there, but we're not here.
We are just getting our first glimpse of Loch Etchacan, just down there. Oh, Fudge is going for a swim. This small, unnamed body of water en route was a great spot for the dogs to have a drink and cool off. But still some more walking to do before we reach our final remote spot for camp. We finally reach the shores of Loch Etchacan and move round to the other side, where we start to look for a decent camp spot. And with a few little spots selected, with just enough room for the footprint of the tent, we set about on that mission of erecting the tent. We made it to our camp. Both tents are up. A slight error on ours to start with, but we rectified it in the end, and this is where we're going to spend the rest of the evening. It's only 25 to 5, so we're just going to have a cup of tea now before we cook our dinner, and there's time for us to have a proper old wander around here and enjoy camp, because we're not as knackered as we were that time we went to Glenfeshie. But I mean, just have a look at this over here. Sorry, I am actually full of a cold as well, so sorry about the sniffles, but look at that setting. Isn't that magnificent? Now, I do realise that the sun is over there, the light is over there, so it's probably not the best shot that you're getting. But that's the way we need to go tomorrow. We go up slightly, then we've got a steep drop down. We should pass, we should pass the shelter stone, which is the stone that we wanted to go to that very first time we went to to Strathnethy, and we were just so tired we couldn't make that extra mile or so along locha'an. So we should go down to the shelter stone tomorrow, then we'll go along locha'an and back up Cairngorm tomorrow. For now, just going to enjoy the rest of this afternoon and evening. After setting up the tents, we had time to explore our immediate surroundings. There was a great view down into Glen Derry and a footpath which, had we taken it, we could have eventually got to Linn of Dee and Braemar. Our self-appointed viewpoint was also the only place close by where we actually had a phone signal. And whilst we were relaxing, the weather wasn't. The rain was already hitting the mountains in the direction that we'd come from. We're just like seasoned wild campers now. I mean, Sir Edmund Hillary.
I don't think so.
Kath and Sue, very similar, I would say.
Well, the fact that we managed to put our tent on inside out.
Yeah, it was only the fly sheet, nothing to see here. Anyway, we've had a lovely day. It's only about, was it about 7:30 now? Yeah. It's only about 7:30, and we're in our tent because it's getting a bit colder as the wind's getting up outside. As you can see, Sue's brought a book with her, and she's going to read me a bedtime story or sing a song to me. Otherwise, we see you guys tomorrow. Well, good morning. So we've woken up. There's definitely a lot more low cloud this morning. We've had a reasonable night's sleep, the best you expect ever in a tent. and we're gonna start getting breakfast. Well, we're back to familiar territory, and that is rain. It's not quite tipping it down like the first time we were walking, but it is rain. So the other camera has been put away and we're back to the action camera. Through the low cloud and the persistent rain, we were able to get a view of Loch Avon, and more importantly, that really steep climb down ahead of us. Well, you can just about see the track that we came down, which is kind of up here. Well, we would still have a little way to go down this slightly slippy, gravelly track until we'd get to our desired spot, and that was the shelter stone. Well, this glen was full of large rocks. So the shelter stone was, for us at least, a little bit difficult to find because it's one of many rocks that have tumbled down from the northern cliffs, crags and gullies of Kath and Sue. I think we're quite close to the shelter stone, so we've dumped our bags because we'll be coming back past this way, and it feels like we're finally going to make it after our failed attempts of a month or so ago. Well, we made it. We did have a circuitous tour of this rock first before we finally realised that this is where it is. We're going to head in and have a look. Some dry roasted peanuts.
Yeah. Candles, tea lights. Look, there's loads of tea lights. And plastic bottles there. Foxy, stop getting so excited. Look at them.
You got a carpet.
There's a mat there.
Oh,
Yeah.
A mat, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you could I can just about stand up here in this bit. I wonder how many people this shelter, how many lives it's saved. So now we've got to make our way back to our rucksacks, which are over there somewhere. And as we head off along the shores of Loch Avon, we reflect on the number of people who have taken refuge at the shelter stone, the first statistical account of which was 1794. We have finally made it to the shores of Loch Avon. So last time we camped right up at the other end. We're going to walk along the shoreline and then we're going to start going up the way we went up last time. Now we've got a good few hours ahead of us, but I think we've done the hardest bit of the walk now. And Fudge doesn't miss an opportunity to have a paddle and a drink before this next section of our walk. With 3 hours walking since breakfast, despite the inclement weather, we needed to stop to recharge our batteries. And an hour and a half or so later, we arrived at the top of the mountain railway. Oh, you're all steamed up. So, we're going down on the funicular. We've got to go and get our tickets first, and we haven't decided whether we're having a coffee here or at the restaurant down below, but I think we'll be getting a coffee. It's been very wet again. we've stripped off, not entirely obviously, and we've decided to stop at the Ptarmigan, which is the shop at the top. And there's a lot of people up here. You can come up on the mountain railway, but if you come up on the railway, then you can't go out and walk on the mountain. You can walk onto a viewing platform, and also you can't put dogs on the railway. But if you come with a dog and you've been walking on the mountain, then you can pay to go down on the mountain railway, and you can take dogs. So that's what we're going to do. We made it back down, and we've had another fantastic day, 2 days in the mountains. And yeah, okay, we got wet again, but that doesn't matter, does it? So I think that's where we'll end this video. Thank you so much for watching. Well, we'll see you next week.